Today, we're going to dive into a single, really powerful idea. Now, it's so simple that it's actually easy to just brush it off, but once you get it, really get it, it can completely change how you see the world and, how the world sees you.
And here it is. They observe more because they speak less. It sounds super obvious, right? Almost too simple to be a big deal. But trust me, inside these 7 little words is a massive strategy for getting deeper insights, building way stronger connections, and honestly, just making smarter moves in life.
But what does that really mean, in the real world? How does just talking less actually let you see more? Let's break that down. All right, let's start with what we're going to call the quiet observer principle. Now, it's so important to get this right off the bat. This is not about being quiet and passive in the corner. Not at all. It's an active strategy. It's a choice you make about where you're pointing your brain power.
Think of it like this. Most of us, most of the time, are in broadcast mode. We're busy cooking up our next thought, waiting for that little gap in the conversation to jump in and push our ideas out there. This whole principle is about making a conscious choice to flip that switch over to receive mode. Your main job isn't to talk, it's to just absorb.
So why is this so powerful? Why does this one little shift make such a huge difference? Well, it all comes down to something we can call the observation-speech equation. And it points to a basic, kind of frustrating limitation of our brains. You really can't prepare what you're going to say and truly deeply observe what's happening at the same time. One has to give.
Let's just look at these 2 mindsets side by side. When you're getting ready to talk, your focus is all internal, right? You're building your case, you're looking for your turn. But when you're actively observing, your focus is completely external. You're not just hearing the words, you're taking in all the data, the tone of voice, the body language, that tiny hesitation before they answer. You're processing all of it. You're seeing the whole picture.
And there's a scientific reason for this. It's a concept called cognitive load. The easiest way to think about it is like the RAM on your computer. You've only got so much of it. And the act of figuring out what you want to say next, well, that eats up a massive chunk of your mental RAM, leaving almost nothing left for the really complex job of deep observation.
Okay, so we get the mechanics of it. But what's in it for you? What's the real prize here? That brings us to the payoff of perception. What you actually get when you decide to listen more than you talk.
And the benefits are, well, they're huge. You get a much deeper read on what's actually happening in any situation. You start to notice the things people aren't saying. Your relationships get better because people feel like you're actually hearing them. Your decisions are better because they're based on more data. And this is the really cool part, you actually end up with more influence. Because when you finally do speak, your words are sharp, they're insightful, and they just land with so much more weight.
If you need just one number to really nail this down, here it is. Some research suggests that as much as 93% of all communication is nonverbal. Think about that. Tone, facial expressions, posture, 93%.
And that's really the heart of it. That 93%, that is the gigantic river of data that you're just completely missing when your brain is busy cooking up what you're going to say next. You're literally missing most of the conversation.
So this all makes a lot of sense when you hear it, right? But knowing it is one thing. The real magic isn't actually doing it. So for this last part, I've got a little challenge for you.
Now, I'm not asking you to totally change who you are. Just try a small, super low-stakes experiment. Just for a day, think of yourself as a scientist studying how people talk to each other. And you're the first test subject.
It's so simple. 3 steps. First, just pick one conversation today with anyone, anywhere. Second, before you start, set one simple intention. My goal is just to listen so I can understand, not so I can reply. Just take it all in. And third, right after it's over, ask yourself one question. What's one thing I noticed that I am positive I would have missed before?
So I'll just leave you with this question to chew on. The next time you're talking with someone, when you make that little conscious choice to flip the switch from broadcasting to receiving, what are you going to hear?